We are happy with the Happy Times, that it is a good organization that has helped us so much with missing children, abandoned children, children who are deserted by their parents. In most times when we get missing children at the police, we get a lot of problems with them. We don't have accommodation. We don't have what to feed them with, but with the Happy Times, they always help us with those children to keep them, to feed them as we are looking for their parents. So when we get their parents, we come and pick them, we hand over to their parents. Then these abandoned children whom they live in the hospitals, at the rubbish pit, we do what? We just bring them here and they help us because their parents are nowhere to be seen. So we are very grateful with the Happy Times that they have done a good work with the police. We are always connected with them. So thank you very much for that assistance.
Namigade Joyce also disclosed on how they have struggled hard through different projects to see that both departments can meet their standards.
When you help a child and you see them grow in your hands, you just said, oh, this girl was in primary and then she's in secondary and now she's joining university. And there was a time when things were very, very, very hard. When we call them bloody days. When we basically had nothing. When all the calls I would call my friends were like, we don't have food, we don't have this. The children are very sick. We have 6 children in hospital. I don't have this. I don't have transport. But there was a time when people came to my rescue and said, okay, Joy, here you are. We know you, we know what you've been doing, and we are ready to partner with you. And there came a lady, she's called Lori. Lori Combs and her husband called Travis Combs. They said, we will stand with you. They had not done this before, but they felt that they were called to do it. Yes. And that was the time when I felt, oh, I think this is our breakthrough. Yes. All we used to have the school. The school has its own structure. There's a head teacher, there are teachers there. They have their fully fledged structure there. And then we have the medical center. It's still in a small version. We call it a sick bay, but we have a clinical officer there and we have a nurse. We still have a skeleton staff there, just 2, and we think they're enough for us at this stage. And then we have the orphanage and the community. We have 2 social workers, and we have mothers. We have 9 mothers working with the babies and the children below 4 years. So it's basically, and at the head of all this, we have a head social worker who connects the head teacher, the orphanage and the medical center.
Just like a coin has 2 sides, Happy Times is also faced with challenges like inadequate funds to expand their mandate and area of operation and also provide quality services.
We are dealing with children. The whole thing is, it is a child. Being a child means that there's a lot of innocence, there's a lot of chance for them to learn, there is so much for them. It is us that have to impart the knowledge and skills into the heads of these children. I know it is challenging, but most important is that I am a mother. I am a mother, I am a wife, and even in a very small family, managing children can be hard. The challenges that we encounter with children, or maybe when they get stubborn, first and foremost, we know that they are children, and they are our responsibility. We are their parents. We have to sit them down. We have to help them understand where they are coming from, what they want. And as a technical person, this is an area in which I can say I'm an expert in managing children. Because when children fail everywhere in the district, they always come to me. So I am not finding a lot of hard time with these children. One day, I am a probation. I always remind them I am a probation officer. By the time you came to me, I cannot fail. I am your mother. And at Happy Time, what I want you to do is to be a better person. And by the way, what is most important with students is that they should be knowing God. The background of this institution, we have our foundation is more religious. We are born again, and we believe that all that we are doing is not because we are very knowledgeable, it's because God is guiding us to it. Yeah.
So we've had many challenges. For example, we normally receive kids with malnutrition. we deal with those every day, so we have to, they are a challenge, but with God we normally manage to push through, because these kids are all healthy now, but they are not, most of them come when they are malnourished. So we have to start on a special feeding process for them. It's normally a very hard process, but they normally push through.
Mostly, okay, because it's hard sometimes to diagnose without having a CBC or microscopy, so that's a big challenge, because I can diagnose using strips, you know, the RDTs and everything, but it's hard without a CBC or microscopy. So if I could like get those machines, so it would be easy. Then the other challenge is okay, like mostly that is the biggest challenge. Yeah, if we could get like those machines, they could help us out. Yeah, then sometimes, okay, some other challenge we get sometimes, the medicine. Yeah, we have many children who are sick and then less medicine, but that one is most times handled.
Okay, the resources really are not enough, but we are just forced to do it because children need to be supported, but our resources are not enough. Compared to the number of children we have, we really have few resources. The structures themselves, if you look at the classes, you happen to go in classes when children are inside, you see that the children are packed. So we really need some structures. The ones we have cannot work for us if we are ready to produce very, very good results. Yes, but we are trying to use what we have.
Involving these students is these people are growing up, and we want to grow these children into people who will be beneficial in the community tomorrow, because they have to grow up knowing that knowing where they get food from. Tomorrow one will be married, or he will marry and he will become a farmer. You never know. So they are learning in another way. This documentary, we are just looking for people to help us achieve our goals, buying land, more land for farm, buying more cows, putting up a big structure for foals and goats, because these goats will milk them and get milk for the young ones, which you pick. It was started by Joy because I wasn't that much interested, but after some time I started getting interested. A few years from now, I see Happy Times with a lot of children, and I think it will be where we want it to be, which is, I think it will be the best place to live if people join us and they try to fight us to see that we achieve what we want. People who are out there, I want them to come on board and do whatever they can to see that we put Happy Times where we want it to be, by helping us, giving us what they have. It is not by force, but we are just kneeling on our knees, asking for help to see that at least we go where we want to be.
Our voice outside there, such that whoever is willing to come on board to help the project achieve its dreams can be welcomed on board.
James Ndugwa, one of the top officials from the organization, would like to see it expand in future with sponsors on board, as the master plan of Happy Times Child Care Initiative below indicates.
We look at Happy Times as a bigger project in the future. We look at a situation whereby we can have a very big primary school. We look at a situation whereby we can have our medical center transformed into a big hospital that can serve the entire district and country at large. We look at a situation whereby most of our babies who are now turning into teenagers go through our hands by setting up a technical institute, whereby if one cannot join the university, we can always give them such skills, such that we produce a complete person who came in as a baby and finally can go out there and survive on his own, but having attained the skills from Happy Times. That's through the vocational institute. We also look at a situation where you can have a secondary school, because the number of secondary school going students is growing, and in the next 2-3 years we project the number to be at not less than 100. So having a secondary school within will save a lot if you have a starting number of at least 100 students.
You see Happy Times with a lot of children, and I think it will be where we want it to be, which is, I think it will be the best place to live.
I want to see that Happy Times helps many children, that reaches out to many people in the community. I have a bigger vision of Happy Times that I did not have before. I am looking at Happy Times having a primary school that has 1,000 children. I'm looking at Happy Times that has the secondary school that has 1,000 children. I'm looking at Happy Times with the vocational school, whereby a child from Happy Times can get a skill. Even we just don't know, these days education has to be encompassing. You want to have, somebody has to come out of school and they know maybe at least some tailoring or baking or some additional skills.
Practical that can help them.
And I'm looking at Happy Times, so reaching out to many girls especially. And I want Happy Times to be more of a center of excellence, whereby other organizations can come and learn. We have our strategic plan that is big and huge. We have our master plan in place, and we know we will get there.